Okay, we're good. So welcome everybody that's here tonight live. And if you happen to be watching the recording, welcome anyway. We are starting our Hangout with Mentors. Every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we show up and the panel keeps on growing, which is super fantastic. I absolutely love these dynamic conversations.
Yeah, it does. Wow,
Very
look at this.
cool. So what I'm going to do is just introduce the topic, and then everybody will go around and have their input. And I am really excited to hear what everybody has to say, especially on this topic. This is something that it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're already actively in with us, working within the community, the Unstoppable Alliance, or if you're watching from the sidelines. I guarantee you're going to benefit from something that at least someone has to say, if not everything. So focus. There's two kind of main streams of where we could be going with this topic. And you might already have an imprint in your mind of what we're going to be talking about. Maybe you think that we're going to be talking about focusing in your business or in your marketing activities, focus, like staying laser focused on your activities that you're doing every day. Or maybe you're thinking that we're going to be talking about stay focused on one opportunity. And I bet you we are going to be talking about that. But there's one kind of angle or stream to the focus that I'm really hoping to build out with everybody's kind of thoughts on it, and what should be your main overall focus always, and how will that truly make your marketing work? Because here's the thing, this is your life, right? This is your business. And just as I'm attempting to set the stage for this conversation, you need to always set the stage for your life and for your business, right? It's your show. So you're the center of that show. You need to decide who you want on the stage with you. You need to decide what that show is going to be like. What are the lights like? What does it sound like? What are the colors? What is your audience going to hear? What are they going to see? What do they want to see? You get to set the stage. You get to decide that. How cool is that? So what if you are performing, if it's your stage, who are you performing for? And whose attention do you want? And the answer is what we should all be focusing on. It's the you, it's the customer, right? It doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter how many ads we send out, whether you're doing classifieds, drop cards, cold calling, warm calling, butt dials, ring lists. It doesn't matter what strategy you're doing. If you're not
one of those today.
Well, if you're not focusing on the customer, then you're not going to get their attention, and your marketing isn't going to be effective, right? Anyway, so run with it. Do I have anybody jumping in their seat to go with that? I'm wondering if
you just blew my mind. You just blew my mind. Okay.
Can you go first? Because I made you go last time, and then we'll bring out Tammy. Okay.
Well, I don't have to go first. I want to go last, but I will say this, okay? As soon as you started talking, because I was going to talk about a couple things. I was going to actually talk about, a beagle can never catch two rabbits, and you can't be multitasking. You only do one thing at one time. But you blew my mind just now. And as soon as you started talking, I wrote down the first thing, stream of consciousness, right? And the first thing I said was focus on service, always being of service. Always bringing, the most service, like you are a servant to your prospect or your member or your organization, whatever the case may be. And then the other one was gratitude, but most importantly, the moment. Okay, focus on the moment is what I got from you when you started that introduction, right? And it exploded into my brain. Focus on the moment. Every single moment is precious. Every breath we take is precious. And as time goes through, as they escape, every time the breath goes out, it's gone forever. The moments go away. And so by being present in every single moment, every single conversation, giving all of your attention to every single moment is going to be the key for me. And you blew my mind, right? Because it all kind of comes together, Susan. You know, this morning I was talking about multitasking. I can't tolerate multitasking. When I'm talking to somebody on Skype and they're multitasking, right? Or like, how many times have you been talking to somebody and suddenly they're doing this? Multitasking. It really is an insult. Okay, it's an insult to yourself. It's an insult to me if I'm sharing space with you and you're multitasking, because there is only 100%. Okay, when people say I'm going to give you 110, 120%, there's no such thing. There only is 100%. So you're either giving 100% of your time and your attention to the moment, or you're giving only a portion of that, so you're doing a disservice. You're doing a disservice to yourself, to whoever it is you're engaging with, and you're doing a disservice to your life story. And you know me well enough to know that I can go on and on and on, but I'm just going to stop right now and yield because I know we're running late. So focus is on service, right? In the moment. You dig?
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Tammy, can you talk about, and you can talk about whatever you want, but I would just love, because it's one of your PowerPoints, is talking about focus on daily method of operation, focus on what needs to be done. Because often we separate those tasks for our people, the money-making activities, the time-wasting activities, and then we all have to do the foundation-building activities, right? We do have to do that kind of work. It doesn't feel like we're getting clients or making money, but it has to be done to be able to make it. So if you feel like going that direction, that would be awesome. But if not, you talk about whatever.
I will time me, because this is a subject that I could go on for a little bit. So time me, guys. Okay. I have two thoughts tonight that I want to talk about. So I'm going to go for 4 minutes if you allow me to, because I think this is really important for everybody, especially when you're start talking to prospects and you start building relationships. I'll give you guys real life example. This is what I do, and this is how I teach and have coached for 7 years, okay? And this is what I used to do with our loan officers and then our employees at the restaurant, okay? So focus, in my opinion, is number one, getting your mindset straight. In other words, I have prospects all the time that don't believe, for one, that their focus should be on themselves and actually building their own empire instead of someone else's. So I was talking to a gentleman today, and sometimes you cannot convince people. You will not. You just got to let them go. You got to cut the ropes. But there's some people that will say, you know what, this is not legal, this is not this is not that. They're going to try to pick out everything that is wrong with this kind of structure of payment, this kind of business. They're going to try to pick out everything wrong because in their mind they have limited beliefs. Does that make sense? So when you have limited beliefs, then there is no teachability. I cannot teach someone that has a limited belief or that has a block. I call it a blockage. Okay, we are all open-minded here. That's why we're here. That's why we're gathered, and that's why people come to us, is because now we've put it out there that this stuff indeed works. When you first make your $2,000 sale, you know it works. When you see another person make a sale, you know it works. I only need to see one person make one sale in the company. I know that it's going to work, okay? So that's number one, is that your focus should be and really should have you in mind. In other words, you don't want to build someone else's empire if you're going to be self-employed. You know, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, then your focus is on your business. So when you get down to it, your brass tacks, is you get your checklist out, your DMO that Susan talks about, and then you start generating leads. And that is the coolest part about this, is your focus can be 90% if you want. I sometimes opt out of absolute important meetings because my focus, I have a business partner, my focus is lead generation and bringing money into the company. Does that make sense? So if you guys literally need to, start generating leads, that's what we have. We have resources that can literally get you, boom, leads today if you want them. You can plug in, and traffic is king. You know what I'm saying? So without traffic, without eyeballs to your website, you're going to think your focus is going to go wandering. You know what I'm saying? So like when my employees start wandering off, and they weren't closing deals and they weren't closing loans, I'd say, come back here. Remember why you started? to begin with. Okay, yeah, you've taken a week-long vacation, but isn't it time to get back to work? So the thing is, to me, this isn't work. This is my love. This is my passion, is helping people. And that's why I knew that my focus had to be on other people. And like what you said, Joe, it's got to be of service. If you're not giving value and you're not teaching people and training people on how to duplicate and things like that, then your community won't grow. And look what's happened since I've met Susan. Look at all these people. Look at all these shiny people that she'd say. That's what she says. So you obviously know that this works. And you know that the focus keeps expanding. You know what I mean? So is my time up? I think it is. 9:19.
Pretty much right on the noggin if you're done.
I could be a bus driver, and I swear I love the magic bus, but that's another story. So,
the magic bus. Don't get me started.
I won't. But that's one of our favorite subjects, and I think that's why Susan and I work so well together, is because we are like bread and butter, Mo and Joe. And we always joke about that. Like, she'll post, it's the strangest thing. She'll post on Facebook almost the same time I'm posting on Facebook, and it won't even we'll be doing something, all of a sudden, boom, we're both there. And, so this community, the way we have everything set up now is you just literally focus on every event. Okay, let's get them to the radio show at 10 o'clock. Let's get them to the 9 p.m. calls. Let's get them to the Zoom. See what I mean? Your focus can be on people, and then just bringing them and tour guiding them through the process, through the marketing methods that we have. So that's what I wanted to share tonight on focus. But the first point, remember that, is that you're building your dream and your empire. No one else is. You're the boss.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Tammy. And before I forget, I just want to shout out Bobby. If you're watching this, thank you very much. The topic suggestions last week and this week, because sometimes I run out of ideas and I want to know what everybody else wants to hear about, right? So
Bobby's been awesome. He's been one of those
requests. So thank you very much, Bobby, for that. For that suggestion. Obviously, it's a great topic. Everybody is chomping at the bit and excited for it.
That's awesome.
Anne, I would like to welcome you back to
thank you.
The Hangout with Mentors. Share a couple of your thoughts on focus, and do you have a trick to help yourself stay focused?
Well, I do. And first, Joe, I wanted to say I really liked what you said this morning on the radio show about picking that one thing and doing it very well rather than focusing on 2 or 3 things and doing them halfway. Because I find myself multitasking sometimes, not on the phone talking to people, when I'm with them, but I do several things at one time, and that kind of brought me back to thinking, okay, I really need to focus on one thing and do it really well, whether it's, writing an ad or doing a video, whatever. So thanks for that. But I think that it's easier to get focused and stay focused when you know what your goal is and where you want to end up being. And I know for myself, when I have a vision of where I want to go, it helps me determine, what kind of marketing method I want to use, to get the prospects, what, marketing method to get good at, and, to keep that focus. And kind of going back quite a ways, a long time ago in the 90s when I was doing my first home business, I think it was so much easier to stay focused back then on doing the marketing tasks, because there weren't all the distractions that we have today with, internet and cell phones and Facebook and, everything beeping in your ear. And what I do to stay focused now when I sit down to do a blog or sit down to do a video or some marketing, I shut the volume off on Facebook, or sometimes I'll just turn it off completely because it just gets too tempting to go over there and see who's posting and who's doing what and all that. And my focus gets off track what I'm doing. And back in the day, there weren't those distractions. And I found it so much easier to market. But another thing that I do now to kind of keep me focused is before I go to bed every night, I do write my to-do list. And sometimes my big list gets way too big and I can't focus on it the next day. It just feels overwhelming and nothing really gets done. So I've kind of taken a few items off my big list and I write myself my little list for the morning, and incorporating maybe 4 or 5 things that need to get done, whether it's placing an ad on Craigslist or doing a video or doing some reaching out to my prospects, and that way I can manageably focus on the things on my little list, and then they get taken off my big list, and of course more get added back on. But for me, this is just a real easy way to stay focused on what I need to do in order to generate more leads and to get more prospects looking at my business. And ultimate goal is to get more team members joining, which the focus is working because my team is growing, and I'm having some more magic days. And I actually had a magic day on Monday, another magic day. So it's awesome getting those magic commissions coming in. But staying focused plays a huge part in it. And another thing for me to remain focused is, after a week or a couple of days, sometimes I start feeling a little bit burnt out because I'm doing so much. Some days that for me, it works just to walk away, go take a walk at the river, out in nature, and just, hear the water, hear the birds, hear the wind whispering through the pines, and just kind of regroup and regenerate. I come back energized to come back and focus on my business again. So that's kind of my take on focusing.
Wow. Talk about a whole nother list of golden nuggets. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Anne. So we've got from Tammy, your daily activities and making sure that you're focused on your business, and from Anne, a whole list of things to do. I hope everybody's taking notes. Talk about powerful. Thank you.
That's great, Anne. I like your sticky notes. I'm going to start doing sticky notes again.
You should see my desk. It's a disaster. There's sticky notes everywhere.
Yeah, mine too.
Hey, to add to that, I bet you $1, and this is what I've always done and I did with the loan officers, is there's like a little whiteboard, and we used to put up deals. So you can have like a whiteboard and put up pipeline deals. You know what I'm saying? That's what we used to have the mortgage brokers do. And then it was like scheduled, okay, this is when they're going to join. I believe this is when they're going to join. See what I mean? So you can actually have in sales, in the sales field, I'm just talking real here, is you can have a list or a checklist of your prospects that are, in such and such a date. And then they say, well, I'm going to join on this date. See what I mean? So that's another little golden nugget for someone.
Great idea.
Absolutely.
We do it.
Frank, would you like to come out and talk about focus? I know you have focus.
Okay, thank you so much. And here in Washington State, and just wanted to, Joe hinted, or he talked about this morning on his call about, I think he did, about a media fast. And just toning that noise down there, all the politics and stuff that's going on, and really focus on the business. And, if you go to Facebook and stuff, don't start watching the videos and get distracted for an hour or two, and all of a sudden you're just off your rhythm. But do income producing activities on a scheduled basis. If you're going to work 2 to 4 hours a day or 2 to 5 hours a day, just plug in and do nothing. Close your door, tune out the family or other people bringing in distraction, and focus on your income producing activities. And also too, write your goals down. It's so important, just like Anne was talking about. And speak the goals, when you're out and about. Like if I go bike riding, I'll just whip out my goal card and start speaking my goals, and everything that you put on your goal card will come to pass, and it will help your focus stay aligned in what's so powerful and what you want to accomplish in life. But just coming to this meeting right here, it just keeps you focused on what needs to get done. And remember, 100 leads through the system, if you want to do that in a week or 2 weeks or a day, and you'll get your 3% response. And I like those numbers, just 100 people through the system, And because people are looking, and I'm so excited about the next 90 days, what we have here, September, October, November. We're right in the zone for everybody to stay focused because people are looking. Also, too, have some of your business cards with you wherever you're out and about. PCM, personal contact marketing. There you go, Ann. Good job. And you know what? It could be generic in nature. It doesn't even have, it just has your name on there. It could be any business. Have your phone number and how people can touch base with you and tell the story. Just 30 seconds. There you go. And because people are looking, and I know all of us will bump into 3 to 5 key people a week that will sit down with you again and show them what we're doing. And that's what I have for today for Focus. So thanks for letting me jump out.
That's awesome, Frank.
Awesome.
That's really good point that he made, isn't it, Susan, to focus and then come to these, because then it refocuses you and you get other ideas. So like what Frank just said is really, you should have business cards because it's honestly, I'm almost out. This is all I have. And Susan designed them and she ordered them, and it's got Unstoppable on there, and it's got a little ditty on the back. And I'm just, like my daughter would say, Frank, you know, I make a friend in the bathroom, right?
That's right.
So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, but you're frozen.
Yep.
And a really nice picture too. It's a nice smile.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, it says it's really windy here, so I don't know what's going on with my internet. But as long as you can hear me.
Yep.
You can hear me. Adam, you got up at 3 o'clock
Hi.
in the morning from
Yes, it's
across
very
the
late.
pond over in Germany. It's too bad that I'm frozen because I just did some animations. That's really important. But anyway, I would like you to speak next in case you're tired and you would like to dip out and go back to sleep. And
Okay.
thank you very much. I appreciate you getting up specifically to come and join us. Thank you.
I'm happy to be here. Can y'all hear me, first of all?
Yes.
All right, outstanding. So I'm just going to cover a few topics of what I think about focus briefly. First of all, whenever you're talking to people, I always understand that your focus should be on the person. You know, there's a reason that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, meaning we should be listening twice as much as we're speaking. That's so much, very much important whenever you're talking to your prospects, trying to get a gauge for actually what they want, what they need, so then you can actually just supply a solution after you've listened to them, right? You know, the whole saying, I think Joe touched on it earlier when he started speaking, but, you know, if you're trying to chase 2 rabbits at the same time, there's a high possibility that they're going to get away, right? Unless you're, of course, the master hunter. So what does that mean? I see a lot of people making mistakes, especially when they get online, is they try to bite off more than they can chew when they get started, meaning they try to juggle multiple business opportunities. I think that's a mistake because they can't focus all their efforts and become successful even one. Why would you want to juggle more than one, right? So until you are successful in one opportunity, don't even try to build multiple income streams. Yes, it's important. Yes, that's like where you should eventually try to get to, but focus on one thing until you become successful, right? Until you're making money, until your team's growing, then possibly think about branching off into something else. Then also, I think self-awareness is very important as far as your focus goes. You need to sort of know what's going on around you with yourself, so you can sort of basically perform at the top of your level, at the top of your game. Make sure you're focused and you understand what's going on around you, so you can cut out all distractions that are keeping you from basically doing your daily tasks that you need to do. Focus on being self-aware of yourself. So, for example, like Ann said, when you know that you're tired, you need to take a break, it's perfectly okay to tap out 1 day a week and simply go and just do whatever it is that means to you. All right, and just get away from the grind just for 1 day. That way you can come back into things hot and heavy, 100%. And then I think that's just about it. And also understanding how to prioritize tasks. We're all busy. A lot of us have families. Some of us still work. For example, I'm in the military. I work 60 hours a week, right? For right now. But you got to be able to prioritize tasks. Look at the 25-meter target first and knock that down, as opposed to worrying about something that's 300 meters out. It's really not so much important. focus on the immediate task at hand. The more important stuff is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, that's what I have to talk about, focus.
Thank you. More golden nuggets.
That's awesome, Adam. And I just wanted to point out one thing you said, Adam, and it's really, really important. And a lot of times people will actually put off, and this may sound strange, but this little thing right here, and if they get a little voicemail saying, hey, I have a question, can you give me a call back? And then they're like, oh, shoot, well, I got to do this Facebook, or I got to do that. You know, like in the beginning, like people don't freak out. That's why we're here. So, like, in other words, what's that book? Eat the Frog first, right? Get the things that you don't like out of the way first in the morning, right? But anyway, that was great, Adam. Perfect.
Thanks.
I like how you said that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam. And again, thank you
You're
for
welcome.
getting up and coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hang with you all the whole night. I'm already up, so.
Awesome.
Cool.
Incredible commitment. Awesome. Brian and Felicia, would you like to share your thoughts, please, on focus?
Sure. Well, Ann said everything I was going to say. I should have known that, because we always seem to be on the same page, the three of us. But
That's true.
I think Felicia wanted to add something.
Well, for me, I was just going over, listening to Napoleon Hill again, as we do every day that we go to the pool. And he was talking about organized planning and just how answers can really come from infinite intelligence or source, but it's through the Mastermind Alliance, which is what we have here within our awesome community. And it's also through conditioning your mind to with your definite purpose. So Anne kind of touched on that as well. It's just kind of knowing your vision or your why. Once you align with your why, that gives you the purpose or the ambition to keep going, or to take those necessary actions that you need to take in your business and in your life. So it's really not even, it's more, focusing isn't as important as the philosophy behind it. It's the attitude that behind the actions that keeps those actions in place. So if you have that, again, that why, or the philosophy of having a good attitude, it makes you want to go and do those actions that you take every single day, and then that compounds over time, and it gets you to that final destination or the end goal in mind. So it's kind of like mastering a focus on any aim, goal, or dream in any area of your life is just putting your foot on that path. So once you get your foot on that path, then it's staying on the path, and then going through the day-to-day progress, you will get there by default. So that's really it. We focus on our own strengths. So that is what helps us stay on that path, is by focusing on our strengths. So for Brian, he's more techie. So he is a little, just a skosh more introverted than I am. So he likes to do, the Craigslist ads and the banner ads and AWeber setup, things like that. And right. And for me, it's more like personal connections. I'm like a team person. I like to connect with people. I'm all about people. So I like to be on the phone. I like to do videos.
Yes, you do.
It's true. It's true. It can be tricky because I do like to socialize so much. So it can be my downfall as well. I have to really pay attention to how much time I spend on Facebook, because like you talked about, it can be easy to get sucked into that. But I do think it's important to have those connections and the relationships, because if someone likes something, or if you say something and someone just likes it, to me, that's not really engaging. That's not interacting. That's not making someone feel welcome. They want to hear from you. They want to hear what you have to say about a certain subject or about what's going on in their lives, and so if you feel if you have that disconnection, you're not going to build that trust and likability factor, that's so important in our profession. So that's it, really. I appreciate you having us on again.
Awesome. I love that input. It really feeds back into what I was saying. Focus on the people, right? We have to really focus on them and build that relationship.
Yeah, that was awesome, Felicia.
Love it.
Yes.
Kenny,
I love talking to you on the phone. We do have to be careful about our phone time, girl.
I know. That's funny. Love you all very much.
Kenny, what are your thoughts on focus?
Hey, everybody, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, focus. Oh my goodness. Focus is so much to me. Focus is everything. It's been a big piece of my life ever since I started losing weight like 7 years ago. When I really got focused on it, and I'm not talking about little focus, like you go to the gym once out of the week and you wonder why you didn't get no results. No, I'm talking about focus 5 days out of the week, 30 minutes a day, and regardless what I'm doing, I'm going to do it. Oh, she's not playing. She says 7 days a week.
I do it every day.
And oh my God, your story is so much to me, Tammy. I share your story so much because now can't nobody come to me. There is no one that can come to me and say, "Oh, I can't lose weight." What you mean you can't lose weight? I know a woman that lost over 125 pounds in 15 months. What do you mean? What do you mean? Look, I'll show you a now picture. This is a now picture, and this is a before picture. And they be like, "Wow, yes, nothing crazy." She's not at nobody's gym, but she has a focus. She's focused. Twice out of the day. Am I correct? During the day and night, you walk and run.
In the morning, I do weight training, and then in the evening, I run. Like after this, I'm running.
That's
I'll post it on Facebook.
Most of us after this, we might grab something to drink and go to bed. Some of us might have to get up and go to work. But this lady says she's going to get ready to go walking. Do you know what that means? So focus is everything. Part of my focus in the morning when I wake up is when I go into my bathroom, I have things written on my mirror. Focus. This is what we're going to do today. Focus. Wait. Focus. It's in my head when I first wake up. And I don't turn on the TV. News is nothing to me. I do not watch the news at all. I had 5 people call me today worried about me because they heard about the tornadoes and everything that was happening in Florida. I don't know nothing about it because I'm not watching TV. So it's a focus. You got to stay there. Mine is music. I listen to music in the morning. It's the mental relaxation for me, and it starts my day off. And after that, I'm off to the running. So to everybody, I say, when it comes to that focus, make sure you focus on what you want to do. I don't care if it's your job. Some people are not even focused there. You got to get focused, else you will get fired. You go to work late because you're not focused. You're not getting up on time. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. Quit playing. Just get up and do what you got to do and stay focused. That's the key, y'all. Focus.
I love that. More golden nuggets. There's lots of tips.
I like how you said that, Kenny, too. And the way I understand it, Kenny, is it's really motivated focus, like what your message is.
Yes.
And I'm super proud of you. I didn't know that about you either 7 years ago. And, I learned something new about everybody on these Hangouts and these Zooms. It's so cool. But yeah, you're right, Kenny. And you got to stop watching TV. Get off the couch and stuff, right? Yeah. Awesome. That was awesome, Kenny.
Thanks.
Ray, would you like to talk to us about focus, please?
Yeah, that was one of my obstacles for a long time, was focus. Especially if you're running your own business. I mean, it's easy to go to work and they give you a task, and we call it work skills, I think that most people go and they can focus on a job. Oh, do this, do that, move this over here. There, you're done for the day. But when you have something of your own, it doesn't have walls. It's kind of like, it's just there. It's like, how do I put this in perspective to where, I have a daily method of operation, and then, how are you going to do it and teach somebody else? That's really interesting to me. And what's really cool is that when you talk to somebody, now you have to be focused on what they're about. And I think being aware, and a lot of the terms that came out so far is being aware, knowing that, hey, wait a minute, this person they may not have good skills at being multitasked or whatever. And, they might have issues. So how am I going to help them really dial in that motivation they need to be able to do this daily, so that they can see themselves doing it and actually get the results that other people are having, that they can experience it for themselves, so they can experience a sale for themselves. And to me, that's important. It's important that somebody has, I really feel that if somebody comes to me, I want them to have traffic being driven first thing. I want them to see traffic coming I want them to see people are opting in with names, phone numbers, and emails into their business, So my first thing is to really get them to value that, okay, you're going to see some action. So all we're going to do is take a little bit of time and focus you on what you need to do right now. And I think that helps people. I know it helped Brian, because Brian thought, what do I got? I said, you got to drive some traffic, because you have to see some kind of result. If it's not monetary, at least you see activity. And I think that means the most to people. I feel, this is my personal belief, that means something, that's something tangible that they can see and grab a hold of. And I think if they have that tangible piece, that value of belief just rises up. And I think that's the most, I think that's important to people, because we don't have a physical product, but if they can see the physical result from something that they've done because of what you just taught them, they have now something they can hold on to, and it just rises that belief level to let them know people will come to you, people will find you. And I have seen more and more over a daily method of operation, of focusing on my daily method of operation. I just had a sale tonight. Somebody just opted. I had no idea. I was at a parent-teacher meeting with my kid, with my wife, about our kids. And then all of a sudden I get this thing, congratulations, you just had somebody sign up. And I was like, well, that's cool. But that was because I took the actions that created that. And anybody here can do it. I know everybody here does it, but anybody that's watching can do that. So, don't ever get away from, these types of trainings, because this stuff will dial you in. I know that, the radio show in the morning, Joe dials everybody in the morning. He just sets that thermometer, or that thermostat, like turn it up a little bit, and that helps just bring that into a let me put it this, an emotional state that you can actually do something, instead of being overwhelmed and overtaken by, oh my gosh, the day is going crazy, everybody's doing this, everybody's doing that. Oh, look what they said to me on Facebook today. Oh my God, my life is ruined, or my day is, I'm in the shitter because of that, or whatever, just because of one little thing. But it helps dial you in and bring you right back into focus, so that you can have something daily, and remind yourself, oh yeah, that's what I do. So stuff like that just makes the day go better, and makes your business and your income go up.
Absolutely.
So that's what I have.
More golden nuggets. I tell you, this is powerful. Thank you. That was awesome, Ray. Oh, and congrats on the sale while you were at the parent-teacher interview. That is really cool when that happens. Donnie, welcome. And what would you like to add to focus?
I think you guys said everything. I don't really know what to add, but I do have daily routines that I do every morning. I got my checklist and my goals, but I need to cut back. According to you guys, I got too many things going on, and people always tell me that. I got 14 blogs, I've got 2 companies, and I'm doing a lot of stuff, but nothing's bringing any money in, so that's where I'm stuck at. So my focus is on cash flow.
In the notes, I'm not sure if everybody saw it, but I made a notation about what can sabotage even the most focused person. And there's been lots of hintings towards it, but I'm still going to leave it to the end. Brian, what do you have to add?
Thanks for having me on. Some of the disciplines that I've been starting to do have everything to do with my focus. From the time I wake up in the morning, I have my quiet time, a devotional time in the Word, and then that discipline brings my mind into focus. So I could start my day, because I have my other business that I deal with first thing in the morning. Then I have my item business and I want to attack second. So without that focus and without that discipline, things could go right out the window, because one business could drag into the time of the other. So I have, like Ann has her list, I've got my list. I'll do this 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't deviate from it, because if I do, my focus is lost, and then I'm right out the window. And that distraction takes you off of your time, takes you off of your main course of what you want to have done, and you're not giving 100%. You're giving 50% of this, 50% over here, and there's your distraction. Your focus is gone, and I'll sit there like I've lost it. So I just say to myself, I gather it in. What am I going to focus in on? I'm going to focus on doing my back page ads, and I'm going to stick to it. I don't care who calls me on the phone. If it's a prospect, I'll answer it. But if it's someone else, a family member, I'll call them later. I'll finish those ads, get that done, and I'll stay focused on that 100%. Otherwise, if I don't do it, there's no 100% there. So driving my leads, driving the traffic, and getting all that done. One of the things that Ray said to me when he first taught me, he said, "Bri, you just got to market that link." I said, "That's okay. I could do that." And I got on that, and I started putting my ads out there like crazy. But when I'm bored, I'll run ads. When I'm kind of like, what do? I'll just run ads, and it's fun. I love doing that. It's exciting. But I still have to stay focused on what I'm doing. You get on Facebook, and all of a sudden, someone sends you a message, a friend. "Hey, what are you doing?" "Listen, I'm working. I don't have time. I love you, but I'll talk to you later." And they'll understand that. I'm being fair with them. And then when I have all my list done and everything else focused in, and I have that discipline set, I have good clarity of mind, and I can move on to do what I need to do. Talk to my prospects and have a good, clear mind with them. So I'm focused in on them. And because when you're not focused talking to your prospect, they hear it. They know exactly where you're at. So
Absolutely.
that's my little
Thank
thing.
you, Brian, for that. You tied in a piece of what everybody said. I'm not sure if you realize that, but that was really cool. Awareness, self-awareness, time awareness, doing lists, checking off your tasks, not multitasking, being aware of your vision. You know where you want to go, so you know what you need to do. Focus on the client, the customer. Love it. Thank you. That was powerful. Super T, are you last? Oh, not least. Come on up, Lise.
Well, we know I get very excited. I always get very excited. And I'm probably not the youngest member, but one of the newer members here. So focusing on this is new to me. But being focused on my why and determining what I want to do is not new. That's something that I always try and keep in front of me, because no matter what vehicle I'm taking to get there, that's what fuels me. And so I keep that as part of my focus, my frontal focus. But when I get so excited and I see something that's like, okay, let me try Craigslist and this marketing and this marketing, and I just want to do everything, I have to stop and kiss myself. And what I mean by is I have to stop and tell myself, keep it stupidly simple. Don't keep trying to do everything. Just, just slow down and focus. Follow one course until successful. Tony, okay, let's do the Craigslist. Let's do that for this amount of time, because the marketing is new to me. So, I'm still learning, but when I concentrate on one thing and accomplish that, it feels like I've mastered it. I might not be the fastest or the swiftest, but for me, that's a major goal accomplishment. And that makes me continue to go on. So just doing one simple thing and doing that well, then I can say, and move on to the next one. And eventually, it'll all be well-rounded and I'll be great, So that's what I do. Just kiss myself when I get crazy.
Love it. I love that. Everyone's going to remember that now, right? If you start getting all over the place and getting all complicated, just kiss yourself. Thanks for that. That's really cool. Really cool way to remember it. And Paul, yes, you can talk. Your camera isn't working today. Could you please share with us whatever your input is on Focus?
Yeah, I just first want to say that sorry that the camera's not working, but great thing is I can actually sit on these meetings and be completely nude, and no one's ever going to know. So, but
That's funny.
and I just broke everybody's focus. I'm sorry. But no, I mean, like Ray, I had a hard time focusing on my businesses and just like life in general. The thing about focusing is that if you're doing 100 things at one time, you're doing nothing. And it's just amazing how you can have everybody has 24 hours in a day. Some people are awake 20 hours in a day. And it's just amazing. You got 10 things going and you do a little bit here, you do a little bit there, do a little bit. Nothing ever gets done. And what the crazy thing about it is that when you focus in and dial in on one thing at a time and get that done, and then go to the second thing, get that done, third thing, get that done. It's like you get done with like 100. It's like you get done with 10 things in about half the time that you thought it was going to take. Now, I mean, we could take this focus and just dumb it down a little bit and think about a grocery list. If you have a grocery list, you go into a grocery store and you stay on that list, you get, okay, got the milk, got the almond milk, got the kid stuff, got, whatever. You can actually get in and out of that grocery store within about 15 minutes. But if you're just scatterbrained and don't have anything in front of you, it's like, okay, grab the chips. Oh, we need $15 worth of candy and all this stuff. Number one, you're going to spend an hour and a half in there, and number two, you're going to spend a whole lot more money than what you wanted to in the first place. And really, you can put this into perspective with the home-based business, and having multiple, quote unquote, multiple streams of income when you're trying to get your first one going. It's like Adam said, I mean, our goals is to take the system that we have inside of us and take that system and plug it into other streams of income where it's like a machine. It just goes. But when you're starting something like what we have with our businesses, and then someone hits us up and says, hey, you know what? I got this really awesome opportunity for you. I saw that you're in multiple streams and talk, and take a look at this. Okay, I'll take a look at it. I've had within like this week, at least 2 people ask me to take a look at something else. I'm like, you know what? I'm sure it's a great opportunity. I'm sure of it. But the thing is not only would I be hurting myself jumping into this, now being focused, having my focus split up 4 ways, but I'd also be hurting the team. You know, I'm not going to help you. I'm not, and I'm pointing at the camera like you guys can see me and you can't, but I'm also going to hurt the team because I'm not. I mean, as a leader, if you're not focused as a leader, and Ray knows this, and Kenny knows this, and Tony knows this, and you know, we've had leaders that are not on this team. We've had leaders where, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to jump in this and just crush this. And okay, yeah, great. And 2 weeks later, they're on to something else. And it's like, okay, so now we have to jump into this. And eventually you do that. You have, you know, a squirrely shiny ball syndrome for so long, and you're going to lose. People are going to stop following. People are just going to absolutely, they don't want to do anything with you anymore. And the whole fact of the matter is this, is that not one person on the face of the earth, not one, and I think well, let me say this. I would put a lot of money on saying that not one person on the face of the earth can multitask. And what I mean by multitask is to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different things just as good as you can do one. You know, I think her name is Dr. Caroline Leaf, and she said that there's not one human being on the face of the earth that can multitask. Not women, and especially not men. You know, and that's absolute truth. Computers can't multitask. If you have one program up, and I know this because I'm in the technical, I do tech stuff. If you have one program up, you're gonna, if you have the resources on your computer, it's gonna run smoothly. 2, you're not really gonna see anything. But anybody who's done like Facebook marketing like me and had 20, 25, 30 different tabs up on their Chrome browser and just rapid fire in, spamming groups, that takes you about 20 minutes because your computer is just bogging. Why? Because it's multitasking. Your computer's not focused. It can't use the resources that it's created to use to do a task that to its best ability. So that's what I got for tonight. And I just want to give kudos to Joe about mentioning the whole stupid getting your 110%. I think that's the dumbest phrase I've ever seen in my life, because it's like, okay, well, if give your 110%. You can't do that. If someone's telling you to give 110%, you weren't giving 100% in the first place. So there you go.
Thank you, Paul.
Susan, may I please?
Yeah, sure.
And then I'm going to turn it back. I know that you want to close this. We're already at an hour. And, first off, I want to thank everybody who's come here today. I've got them all written down. And you've given me enough material for 100 radio shows. This means I can sleep an extra minute in the morning, maybe an extra 5, because so much content has been brought my way this evening. And I want to thank everybody who does show up in the morning. And for those of you who are listening maybe to a replay, every morning at 10 o'clock Eastern time, we have something called AllianceRadioLive.com. It's a streaming on the internet. And a couple people have said here, and what the goal in the morning is to reframe and set the focus for every single person who's taking their business seriously here in our Unstoppable Alliance. And I just want to put a word of caution. Okay, everyone who has spoken here today, the people who are with us in our Unstoppable Alliance, in my experience, everyone here has revealed to me that there are leaders. Every single person here is absolutely a leader who has the right stuff. And so now what that means, and Paul, you just mentioned it, people are going to be coming for you, man. Okay, because they see that you have focus and that you have vision, and they've got a new deal, and there's a shiny new patch of grass for you, and they're going to be coming. And as we begin to, I've been here long enough to see the growth in our Wednesday night Hangouts. It's going to begin doubling when we get into September, October, and November. And what I want you guys to do is protect the integrity of your vision and your focus and your dream, because they're coming for you. They're going to try and offer you stuff and, you know, special enrollments and all this kind of stuff. And you know what? It's about to get crazy. You know, September, October, November, it's going to be an avalanche. If you've opted in for something along the way, a business opportunity, or maybe you're on Facebook and people know who you are, get ready. It's going to be like an assault. It's going to be an assault on your senses. So now more than ever, you have to stay focused on what we have here in our Unstoppable Alliance. And I've heard today, Susan, several people talking about multiple streams of income. I say Boulder Dash. How about one stream of income? How about just doing this really, really well? You know, in our business, we get paid 4 different ways. If you get yourself positioned at the highest level, and I know for some people, it's a mind blower, $22,000. That's like, well, you know something, you'll get there, and that's where you should be. And when you're there, as people evolve and as they learn, they start moving up that chain. And before you know it, you are on multiple streams of income. You've got people coming in at very low levels, mid-range levels, and then you've got people seeing what's going on. They're on an event like this, and they're like, hey, I've got to get up to that top level. Really, really cool things are going to happen for my business and for every single one of our businesses. And the reason is because we have singular mind focus, and we have a definition of purpose, and we have this unstoppable alliance, this community, which is second to none. I am really, really grateful to be here and to be given this opportunity. And I apologize, Susan. I'm chomping at the bit as I'm making notes and everybody's talking about their contributions. I'm like, oh, I just want to make a comment. You know, the whole idea of, and I used to own a beagle. When I was a little kid, our first dog was a beagle. Her name was Gigi. And she was unmanageable, right? Beagles howl, and we lived in the city of Chicago. And I remember that my father, he was a roofer, and he knew guys that went hunting. And he gave our dog, Gigi, to this guy who was a hunter. And he's the guy that talked about how, you know, these beagles are killer. And I mean that in a nice way, but how they actually hunt a rabbit. And he said, you know, a beagle can never catch 2 rabbits. They never will catch 2 rabbits. It's impossible because of the dynamics of how it works. And it's the same thing here. You'll never catch 2 rabbits. We've got the Unstoppable Alliance. We've got a great community. And there are some things coming. You leaked something today that was so cool on the page with the four. There was a video that we did that you've been working all week, Susan, to edit and cut it down, and the giant grins, and it was hilarious. But there are things, right? There are things that are going to be revealed here within days that will absolutely turbocharge, okay, streamline, explain our program to anybody who's willing to take action. So I'm going to shut up, okay, all right? But thank you, everybody, for the kind words. And again, remember, and tell people, right? I heard Ann, I heard this morning, I've heard people who are sending curious people to our morning jumpstart. There's only 15 minutes, and sales are happening. People are buying because of the language and the community they're experiencing. It's way cool, man.
Way cool. Thank you. Thank you for that input. Thank you.
You're
Tammy,
welcome.
do you have any last thoughts before I close it out?
I can go all day, you know. I mean,
know.
I can talk until
It's all
tomorrow morning.
good.
I'll let it go, okay? Just how about this? We reconvene, okay? Our next live event is tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, and you can find us at allianceradiolive.com. We stream on the internet, man. Anyone's got a browser can hear it, and there's a call-in number. We'll announce it in the morning. You can call in, make a contribution, comment, and so I'll hold it until tomorrow. I'll see you guys at 10 a.m. Eastern at Alliance Radio Live. How about that?
That's a good idea. Tammy, do you have any last thoughts before I say my closing thoughts?
No, I'm really good. I just had the couple points I wanted to make, and I'm good. It was very awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. So we've had a lot of incredible inputs, golden nuggets, and I really hope that everybody took notes, and if you're on the panel and you were able to take notes, because we're all so focused on what each other is saying, I'll have the recording available for everybody as soon as possible. And if you're watching this, if you're in the audience and you're watching this either live or recorded, please get back with the person that invited you. There's a reason why they invited you, and our community is amazing. We have these hangouts every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. It's our kind of a longer event, but otherwise through the week, there's multiple ways to get in touch, to get your mindset set straight, to set your energy for the day in the morning. The Joe's show that we talked about many times. I love drinking my peppermint tea and starting the morning with Joe. And there's just so much going on. It's so powerful that it's almost like I have moments where I go, okay. Although that multitasking, I have been doing a lot of that in the last 6 weeks, especially. That's what I was going to pull out right at the end in case somebody didn't mention it. And it was kind of brought up lightly, but I do really want to touch on this before I close it out. And that is you can sabotage. You can be the most energetic, laser focused person on all of these great ideas that everybody says. But if your vision, like it's been brought up many times, and Felicia touched on it really powerfully, is so strong, and I know mine is. My vision is so strong that sometimes it actually scares me. It's big, it's clear, it is so crystal clear. I wish I could draw it out. But sometimes I do not take those days that were mentioned. Who mentioned the day? Taking that day. I forget. I haven't written down here, but anyway. Adam.
Oh, Adam.
I'm not good at that because I am so passionate about my focus on the people. And please read Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I wrote it over here.
I love that book.
Your conversation, we all need money. It's just like oxygen. But if your focus is on the money, people will feel that. You need to focus on the people. So anyway, sometimes I just push too hard that, like last week, I kind of fell on my face. I just got so exhausted. So
I told you to take a day off.
So what you can really sabotage, even if you're really focused, you can sabotage some really great work if you don't step back. So that's what I really wanted to point out. And please do focus on, or please do have a read or relook at some notes of that, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I'm just going to read a quote. I think it's a great way to close it. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years trying to get other people interested in you. Mm-hmm. Don't you just love that quote?
Yeah. I keep that quote quite close by me.
So all of your marketing can be excellent, but if you're not focusing on the people, it's your life, it's your business. Let's set the stage. And thank you again for everyone for coming out, for adding so much value, and we will see you in the next one.